Hi, my beautiful YouTube family. Welcome to Journey Now. This is Heidi, and I'm going to be doing a video for y'all today. This video is, I think, of particular importance, they say, to the majority of us right now walking in our own ascension paths, moving into May. And so it is our pleasure, they say, to begin this informative session and to relay this divine information onto you all, that we may use it with love and light in our hearts. So folks, today we have a bit of a special treat because I have been getting some information from some, I wouldn't say new to me guides. They have been interacting with me for about a year. I would like to say they have been, not they, okay, so they would like me to say I have had my own precautions and struggles with really opening up to them, being that they are the Mantis Beings, you guys, and maybe not for everyone, but for me, they have been a little bit tricky as far as my own self-awareness and opening up to them because, and this isn't their words, this is mine, they have been a little bit intimidating to me, and so it has taken a good amount of time to really delve into my own self so that I could interact with them in a beneficial way. So they have slowly been showing themselves here and there and trying to really open up their communication with me for a while now, and I don't know how many out there, and if you do, please definitely put in the comments anything about them that you can, because they are new to me. I mean, new as in I'm just opening up to them. I have seen them there for a while, but they have previously presented themselves most frequently in these hooded cloaks. And it seems that they do this quite often, people, because us as humans can find them. So again, I must stress the importance that this isn't their words here. These are mine, and I do have a tendency when I speak to use improper words, and they're saying, again, use of language, use of language. So for me, speaking, I'm going to use difficult and hard, but they would not use those words. So it has been a little bit difficult or tricky for me to come to terms with channeling them because when I see them, they are scary. I've got to say, like, to me, they are scary because they're giant bugs, and I'm not a bug person. And so it has taken me almost a year of interacting with them for them to even really remove their cloaks. And they do so in little pieces here and there where they've been introducing me, and I have pulled back many times. And it's something that I have had to work on because I got to tell you what it actually looks like, and because they're so big. And so they come in with their cloaks, and then I've had little tiny peeks, and then they've had to recloak themselves because it's just me getting used to that visual of a giant bug in my face. And because they're so large, sometimes when I see them, it can literally look like a giant bug face is taking up my whole frame of view up in my mind, and I'll just see a giant bug eye or a giant bug head. And I have to really work at myself and work with them at developing a space where I can view them. And so that's what I've been doing really in the past year that they've been introducing me, is really warming up to that. And that's probably not the same for everyone. That is just me. And so I've come to a recent acceptance of them where I have actually been allowed to finally put my own pieces aside and allow them to uncloak and view them. And I have one brown one and one green one that come to me, and they come separately, or sometimes they come together. And again, too, lots of times it has been difficult to even receive their message because sometimes it literally comes out as clicking and popping sounds. Like that on its own is kind of terrifying to me. And so it's been a challenge, but it seems that I have breached that point where now I see them differently and I'm willing to open up, and I have lost that fear. And I tell you guys, I'm just not a bug person because I have a hard time with spiders, big time. And so it's kind of like that whole realm where you got to really look at it and dissect your own fear and remove it. And I think I have been successful in that I have actually been able to communicate with them within this past month. So this is who is coming in today, and I welcome them and I thank them for their patience with me. And of course, they always have unlimited patience with everyone and anyone. And so that's who we're bringing through. Again, thank you so much for being here, my beautiful, benevolent Mantis beings. And they say you can call us Mantis beings, you can call us mantids, you can call us mantins. Like, I mean, there's lots of different ways. It really is irrelevant. They are the Mantis beings, and we don't need to squabble, they say, over the descriptive. So the message that they're bringing forward for us today, and I think it's a really beautiful one to share, so I feel excited about it, is they want me to, oh, I'm getting a little lightheaded now because I can feel that they do have a very that's my word, intense energy about them. So it kind of fills me and it makes me just feel lightheaded and a little bit nauseous. And I, again, like I said, I'm learning to work with these beings. So it's a beautiful message, and what they would like me to describe it as would be choosing change and jumping timelines. And that's kind of where many of us are sitting right now and are having a hard time recognizing where we're sitting. Am I right, you guys? Like, have we all been kind of sitting here in our upheavals and uneasiness of working through our plates of baggage that are being removed? And again, they say that as we whittle away and as we work upon our removals so that we may embody this divine template of true self and true existence, as we become these crystalline bodies, because that's what's happening, is we are developing our light bodies and our crystalline bodies and our Merkaba bodies. If you guys are unfamiliar with the Merkaba, I mean, it's glorious. That's what it is. So that's what's going on for most of us right now. And there is a lot of us sitting around really feeling these removals. And they want to remind us once again, anytime that we remove things and we take the time to look at them, they come out. And because they are stored inside in the deep layers, what removal looks like is that energy, because it is a dense, a negative energy, that denseness actually stirs up and it removes from our bodies, and we feel it and we see it. We get breakouts and all those symptoms that we've talked about before. But they're reminding us, they say, to really remember that that part of the process means we have been successful, and they do not want us to forget our successes. We are being successful at our removals, or we wouldn't be sitting in them. It's just that they say right now there is a multitude of people sitting in the removals going, oh man, this doesn't feel good. What is this? And they're losing control of their emotions, and they are sitting in these places probably for longer than they would like. And so they're wanting me to let you guys know, again, time, there is no time. So really let it play out in the amounts of our time that is relevant for the specific removal. And we don't control this. We don't control this. This is something that's happening within us, and we just need to let it play out the same way that when you catch a flu or you get ill, you need to let it work its way through your system before you get better. So don't put restrictions and timelines and expectations on yourself when you find yourself sitting in your own removals. So So that was very important for them, really to get that information out, because there's so many of us struggling in our removals right now, and they want us to understand that those feelings mean success. So they want to talk a little bit more about this removals and the timelines that we're experiencing as we are being successful. So when you're feeling these things coming up and you're sitting in them, they're on their way out. So this becomes a chance for us to look at them, embrace them, love them. And this is where we bring in those fractals, guys, that we were talking about. Look at them, love them, and release, and then bring back those empty parts that are ready to be filled with light. And so there are lots of ways that we can go about making this easier. So they say, again, water, anything that is transformative or transmutable as far as these removals go, if you can relax, again, the path of least resistance, as soon as you struggle, you really make more friction than is necessary. And I know it's really difficult when you're feeling that way not to add friction to it by simply rebelling that feeling to begin with, because we don't want to feel bad. But that really shuts down that release. Feel it, you guys. Feel it. And if it's sad, if it's anger, whatever it is, find some place. They want to stress taking time for you during your removals. Make sure you take that time. I mean, I know it's tough. Lots of us have families. Lots of us have jobs that we've got to go to and get at, and we're still dealing with these removals while we're trying to fit in our 3D lifestyles. Try to make the time, even if you can dedicate 1 hour every day to be with yourself and those emotions. That is going to be the best thing that you can do for yourself. And even if it literally looks like you sitting in those emotions of anger and sadness, and you're crying or you're punching a pillow, like, do what you need to fully feel those and then release them. And they're reminding me about what tears are. So tears, and we get tears when we are sad, and we can cry when we get mad, and we cry when we're happy. And so what these tears are a release. This is a given release that our bodies actually function with of extreme emotion. And so this is why we cry at the extremes. It is our body's way of releasing that energy, because when we do removals, you understand that they exist in the body. And some of these have been sitting in these places, wherever they might be, like a shoulder pain or whatever it is for you. Some of them have been sitting there for 20 years, 5 years, 10, like you name it. They've been sitting there a long time. And we move them out of our body. That energy doesn't just disappear. It has to process and move through your body and find a place to exit. If it's dark energy, negative energy, that is literally only exiting so it can be transmuted into something better. So remember, when you do these works and it sucks, even though it sucks, these pieces of you, these fractals, these emotions, all these things that you're pushing out and clearing space for, you are benefiting those as well, because you're giving them a chance to lift out of that, be transmuted into something better, bigger, more beautiful, and it wants that. Remember, everything is an energy form of consciousness, and we have to allow the transmutations to occur, because don't you want those pieces of you to be given the divine right, just like you, to become better, to become the best you can be, to fill up with that light? I mean, of course we do. So release, bring it back in, fill it up with light. And again, remember, let the emotions out. If you gotta cry, go cry, because that is the best thing you can do. I mean, who doesn't feel better after they cry? Because you're allowing that emotion and that energy to release. It comes out. It's got to come out somewhere. And so our God-given right of release and transmutation is tears. And of course, it's water. I mean, it's beautiful. cry, let it out, and you'll feel so much better. And then, of course, that being said, remember, as we are becoming these light bodies and we're bringing in the light, that also involves movement in the body spectrum. That isn't something that just it's here and now it's here. It happens. It has to move inside you. It has to find places where it belongs, and then it has to fill up. It has to take a home. Like, it's got to move through your body. So suggestion, they say, is if you're finding yourself stuck in these removals and you feel like you really just want to get going, but you can't step out of those bad emotions, and like if it feels like you've been wallowing for weeks and you're like, okay man, like I'm giving it my time but it's still there, do something to help it along. And so one way that we can do this is movement of the body. And so this doesn't mean you got to go and be a gym buff, people. And I mean, if you do, awesome. That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. That's your thing. But for those of you who don't like to work out, I mean, don't get terrified when I say this, but I am telling you, movement of the body is one of the fastest ways to realign and move those energy frequencies into their new places or out and up. So pick something you like. It literally can be a walk. It can be a swim. It can be yoga. That's my personal fave. I love yoga, you guys. It can be just, even if you want to call housework, because of course you're moving. Pick a way that your body can move and move so that the energy moves quicker. It will find its home. It'll move up and out of you much quicker if you find a way to help your body move it. So drinking lots of water, submerging in water with intention, they say. Add the intention, you guys. Remember, we live in a world where it's strictly created by our own thoughts, beliefs, and intentions. So, of course, intend into your water, whatever it is you'd like, because then it is so. So use water, use exercise, and eating. So this is one they want to talk about. And they're saying, I know that people are going to get miffed a little bit because nobody likes to talk about diet and food because we're very sensitive about this topic. We don't want to be told we're eating wrong. And they're saying that's not it at all. They're saying better choices. And they want us to really understand that food is energy too. Food is consciousness. Food is created by us. So obviously, food has its own vibrational range, and you can actually look up on your own time what are the different vibrations of food and where do they belong. And you can see for yourself, because I'm not here to preach on you guys what to eat. I can just simply tell you food has a vibration. Look at what's going into your body. And if that helps you to look up the certain vibrations of food and then choose by that way, they say do that. Pick one thing that's high on the vibrational food scale and just add that one thing for the day. Like anything that you can do to help yourself move through these energies, move through these transitions, that is going to benefit you because you can step out of that yucky place faster. So that's just a little bit of tips and tricks of the day from the Mantids. And then they want us to know, okay, so this is the main part of their message today. So they're wanting me to talk about timelines. So they say timelines and what we all view as timelines. And I mean, of course, there's still lots of things that need to be said, lots of information to come yet about timelines, as far as the collective data that's being given out via the internet, YouTube, etc. We're still lacking information on timelines, but that will come about. It's simply a human understanding of particular points is what they're saying of what timelines are that is lacking. And so the part here that they want me to touch on is timelines. And so a timeline really is a vibration. So again, everything is vibration. So when we're looking at timelines, they are vibrational timelines that we can exist upon. And so where you find yourself today and now, right now, That is your particular frequency. And when you look around in your everyday life and your landscape, that is your vibrational timeline. And it doesn't mean you're going to like it. Lots of people are going to be like, well, I didn't create this. You did. And don't panic if you don't like what's there. The point is that we can selectively choose our timelines. We can selectively be the creators of these timelines. And we are, not can be, we are. It's just that we can deliberately come into contact with our manifestational purposes of how we choose and pick timelines. And so they want us to know that where we sit now is a timeline, is a vibration. And so by choosing to move timelines, part of the thing that people are missing out on is the understanding that timelines require choosing change. And most people, again, it's like talking about the gym. It's almost like people are wanting to step away from responsibility. They don't even like me to use that word, but I have to say it because I don't know any other word for it. Responsibility of choosing change, because you have to understand that where we're sitting as a timeline, those are choices that we have made that have gotten us to the timeline that we're sitting in. Those choices we have made have all been made by a vibration during that second the choice was made. And so it's an accumulation of vibrational intentions, vibrational choices, vibrational states of being that put us where we are. So if you're wanting to change your timeline and you have this vision of where it is, you've been working with your guides, you have an idea of where you are wanting to end up, who you think you're going to be, you have this image, we all do, but how do we get there? How do we jump timelines? And they're saying that there's a lot of us who are just unclear, and it isn't our fault. It's like they said, there just isn't a whole lot of, okay, so this is branching up, a whole lot of real information that we can access right now about that, because they're wanting me to say this, but they don't want to strike fear. So that's always the way it is. It's like, how do you say things without raising fear, etc.? So you have to choose change. That's the how they can put it. You have to choose change to choose a timeline, because those choices, and a choice is a vibration. So what you're really looking at is a new vibration that creates a new choice, which sets you up with those better timelines. So if we're sitting in places, and so this is a good way to explain like addictive behaviors. We all have different addictions, whether it be food, alcohol, drugs, the gym. The gym can be definitely an addiction. Anything can. Any addiction is really something that you become overindulgent in, and it can be good or bad. But even overindulgence in good things is an addiction, because you can get all encompassed in the gym, and you can be at the gym 24/7, and that's not good either. So it's about making healthy choices that shift you into your higher vibrational timelines, and those are the places where we can move to by making the choices. So again, we have to make the choices, guys. But when you make the choices that raise your timeline to a different place, now you find those are the places that you're sitting in this new timeline where the good things come. Because you can't get the things that belong to this timeline if you didn't make the choices to move you to the new timeline. If you continue to make the down choices that had you in this timeline, if you keep making those choices, well, you're not moving up. So there is a personal responsibility on making good and healthy choices for yourself so that you can move up, your vibration can raise, and then the good things sitting in these timelines start dropping in, because now they're accessible to you. So that's what they wanted to talk about for the most part, is that in order to jump timelines, please don't forget that we have to consciously choose change and choose better, make better decisions. And whatever way that is looking for you, whatever way you want to do it, pick one a day. Just one a day, that's all they're asking for starters. And doesn't that feel good because it's not super overwhelming? One choice a day. Pick one better choice and you're gonna slowly raise that vibration. Pick something that you wouldn't have normally picked. So, I don't know, say you drink coffee every day. I'm not saying you can't drink coffee, guys, so let's not debate that. Say you drink coffee every day and it doesn't make you feel so hot, and you know that. You're accepting that. You're going to say, well, actually, the coffee isn't so good. I'm actually just addicted to the coffee because I need it to get up in the morning. Maybe choose that, because that, if you actually look at the vibration on coffee, that is going to lower your body's vibration. Choose that one thing, switch it to an organic herbal tea, and instantly your body's vibration is going to raise when you start making these little changes. And so if we can just do, they're saying baby steps, little baby steps towards better choices, you're going to find that you're slowly going to be able to shift your timelines. And that's when we're going to start seeing all those wonderful things. So that's the majority of what they were really wanting me to let you guys know. Choose change. Choose change, understand that there is a requirement for you to do so. No one's gonna make your choices. Nobody makes your choices but you. So choose to change, choose to lift your vibration, choose to step into those new and golden and beautiful timelines. And again, if you have any questions on how to do that, or if you need any help, please put so in the comment box. And we do work our way through what we can. Again, we have our own requirements of what information they're wanting us to speak on every time we do a video, but we definitely take into account viewers' questions and choices, and we try to get them out there as fast as we can. And I know it's not fast enough for some of you, but we both have busy lives. Everyone does. Me and Amber both have 3 children. Like, it's hard to get the time to do these videos, but we do take into consideration and do our best to answer you guys and get those videos out for you, especially in regards to like the light language coding, because some of those are personalized when you're asking for them. So we will continue to do our best in that way. Thank you so much for allowing me to introduce you. I love those mantids. I mean, once you get to know them, and please, anything you guys know, because I don't know a whole lot about them. Let me know. What do you know? Do you have these mantis guides in your life? Do you know something about them that you want to share? Please put it in the comments so the viewers can follow as well. And remember, as we're stepping into May, because May looks marvelous. That's what they're saying. May looks marvelous. Choose change. That is how we jump timelines. Love and light. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching this. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.